In every country in the world, cola dominates. We feel that we have to plant our flag everywhere, even before the Christians arrive. Cola's destiny is to inherit the earth.
There are 180,000 vehicles delivering Coke throughout the world every day. That sounds like a lot, but there are still cultures whose main beverage is, say, water.
What do you call it, Bolshem? Coca Cola. Coca Cola, yeah. What is Coca Cola, yeah? No. Hey. You only pass. Am I block him? You can throw more over him. Am I block here? You pilih mo sa him. Pilih mo sa him. Kiss him now.
Coca-Cola is so successful, it can afford to sell its drink at very little profit, for a while. There will come a day when young Tuaregs have spending money, and Coke wants to make sure they've acquired a taste for the real thing.
Idrissa, à quel endroit tu t'approvisionnes en coca?
Agadez.
Agadez?
Oui.
Et c'est combien d'heures de voiture à Agadez? Tu préfères le thé ou le coca?
ما أعرف أنا الشاي ولا كوكا.
In Atlanta, Georgia, Coca-Cola and the Statue of Liberty celebrate their centennials. Over the century, both have become world symbols of freedom and the American dream. But the man who is head of the company wants to make Coca-Cola more than just the world's most successful brand of all time.
Ladies and gentlemen, the chairman of the board and chief executive officer of the Coca-Cola Company, Roberto C. Goizueta.
Right now, at this point in time in the United States, people consume more soft drinks than any other liquid, including ordinary tap water. If we take full advantage of our opportunities, someday, not too many years into our second century, we will see the same wave catching on in market after market, until eventually the #1 beverage on earth will not be tea or coffee or wine or beer. It will be soft drinks, our soft drinks.
By 1996, Goizueta's dream is on schedule. Coke is the #1 soft drink in the world. Coffee, tea, and wine are the company's next targets. This year, Coke is pouring millions of dollars into the Olympics to be held in Atlanta. And at the torch rally leading up to the Games, the Coke logo is as visible as the Olympic rings.
Thank you very much. Good evening, everybody. Coca-Cola is honored to be the presenter of the 1996 Olympic Torch Relay because it allows us, together with the Atlanta Committee for the Olympic Games, share in the Olympic spirit with more people than ever before. And that's what you're seeing here tonight. sharing of community, which is what the Olympics truly represent.
Since the 4th century, the Chinese have been cultivating tea. Tea is as important to them as wine is to the French. But if the Coca Cola Company has its way, all that will soon change. Coca Cola isn't new to China. It first comes to Shanghai in the late 20s. Then, when Mao Zedong comes to power, he denounces Coke as the opiate of the running capitalist dogs and bans it. But Mao's Little Red Book is no match for Coca-Cola. And in 1978, after the chairman dies, the company quickly returns.
The reports are true. Coca-Cola has reached China. But the taste which one Chinese describes as like Chinese medicine may take a while to catch on.
At Coca-Cola, Roberto Goizueta is undeterred. There are 1 billion tea drinkers in China who consume less than 1 Coke a year. That's the biggest untapped market in the world. If Goizueta wants a model for China, he just has to go down the road to Rome, Georgia. The average family in this American town consumes 3,200 bottles of Coke a year. Coke would love to sell every Chinese each year what the Rome Georgians drink in just 1 day. But in China, there's a problem brewing that even for Coke is a formidable challenge.
In Asia, Coca-Cola faces tea cultures. There, the drinking of tea is a serious problem to them because every time someone drinks a cup of tea, they're not drinking a bottle of Coke. So that the aim for Coke is selling beverages, but to do that, they must make war on other beverages, and that engages them in an inadvertent cultural war, which will look very much like a new form of imperialism.
The theme of this painting is drinkable. Chinese people drink tea, and foreigners drink cola or something like that. Chinese tea culture is deeply rooted and integrated with all other forms of Chinese arts. Chinese calligraphy, Chinese painting, Chinese Peking opera. It doesn't matter what the song is, the essence is its lingering charm, and this is mingled with tea.
To reach its target, the Coca-Cola Company is investing $500 million and building 23 bottling plants across China. By the mid-90s, parts of China at least are within an arm's length of desire. That's the easy part. The hard part is changing a daily ritual that has persisted for centuries.
What Coca-Cola is reaching for in China is what the British system was reaching for in trying to get the British working class to become tea drinkers. It's that kind of thing. They're trying to make a change in the schedules of their day, in their habits at home, in their domestic patterns. And once they did that, of course, tea spread throughout the whole society.
To spread its message, Coca-Cola is using the same marketing techniques banned during the Cultural Revolution. And it's targeting the part of China to whom Cultural Revolution means something quite different today. The kids.
I would say the influence comes from the West, from television, from MTV, and especially from breakdancing. We've seen a lot of it. Now in China, disco reflects young people's love and admiration for culture.
As elsewhere, many Chinese youth buy into the idea that you can achieve happiness by consumption. That's a new idea for the Chinese. But then, it once was for the folks in Rome, Georgia, too. In France, they have another idea. You can achieve happiness only in liberty. In the same year John Pemberton creates Coca Cola, the French give the United States a statue dedicated to this belief. A half-century later, American troops transform the symbol into deed. They help liberate France. But with the American troops comes an invasion of a different kind. This time it's not an army, but a dark and fizzy drink. And it's threatening two of the things the French value most, wine and pride.
The Coca-Cola affair enters just after the Second World War and becomes a cause célèbre. The whole affair of what was called Coca-Colonization, that is, the necessity that some French felt of resisting the entry of Coca-Cola into the French market. Now remember that at this point the French have already absorbed jazz, they've absorbed Hollywood movies, they've absorbed Reader's Digest. All these things were coming at the same time. So Coca-Cola represents the rising menace of American mass culture. At that point, they hold up the notion that wine, the national beverage, is absolutely crucial to French identity. That is, France can be defined less by language, less by history, less by religion, but it can be defined by its national beverage. And where Coca-Cola is coming in is actually calling into question France's cultural identity.
Sharing a bed with a shapely American bottle is just too much. The now raucous debate goes all the way to the French Chamber of Deputies. The culture minister accuses Coke of being addictive. He introduces a bill to ban it.
Meanwhile, the Coca-Cola company comes in force to fight this. The Minister of Finance, the Prime Minister, the American ambassador in Paris were all involved in quieting this issue. And ultimately, Coca-Cola wins the battle. The French back away from this after 1950. The ban is never implemented, and Coca-Cola comes to France irrespective of the Great Affair.
"30 years later, France once again feels imperiled by Coke. It's hard to know if that's a commentary on Coca-Cola or the fact that Coke and America are now indistinguishable.
The Coca-Cola metaphor was